We're expecting some 77 drivers.
184-8, any unit can advise if there's a young white male walking over from the Pastores area.
Okay, we'll let you know in a second.
White male, blonde hair.
They walk up, they drive in, they come through the bushes, and they even sneak through the graveyard. The court says they have to report. The law says they can't drive, but they do.
They just don't feel that they're going to get caught again.
But they are, because today, the Anne Arundel County Police Department has set up a sting. It targets drivers with suspended and revoked licenses due to drunk driving charges. Officers are staked out around the station, waiting to see who's bold enough to drive here.
Mr. Dean Richard Wagner is a white male. He's 42 years old.
And Wagner is the first to drive up. Police say he hid his car at the nearby deli and walked in. They nailed him on the way back.
Why didn't you just get a ride or a cab?
I tried to. I couldn't get one.
You couldn't get a cab?
Yeah. I didn't have enough money for that.
But police say Wagner had at least $60 in his wallet when they booked him.
Okay, heads up. The guy with the shirt on, the sunglasses, and the shorts, he's walking out our main driveway.
This guy parked at the deli too. He walked out the driveway as a diversion. It didn't work. But he did come up with a pretty quick story.
Why were you driving today?
I was not driving.
You weren't driving?
No.
How'd you get here?
My fiance. We
Where's
had
she
an
now?
argument. She's pissed off and she's walking around here somewhere.
The vehicle, ma'am, is right behind me. You can see there is no fiance. We saw no female in Officer 2. We saw no female when the individual drove his vehicle up here.
The sting is part of a crackdown on drunk driving.
So the reason to be arrested is your driver's license in the state of Maryland is suspended.
As you can see, revoking a license doesn't mean the offender won't drive.
Put your hands behind your back for me, please.
Your vehicle.
And the penalty should be more severe, according to State's Attorney Frank Weathersby.
You drove drunk, there's a punishment, but they're ignoring the punishment. And once they've ignored the punishment, then the only thing I can think of that's really beneficial is to put them in jail for a period of time.
For the most part, these offenders have more than one DWI or DUI conviction. Some have many as 45 points.
So why are they still on the road? Corporal Buckingham says some judges make exceptions, like in the case of Michelle Randolph, who is only allowed to drive to work or school.
He was suspended 2198 for refusing a chemical test.
She drove up today.
She drove up today.
Randolph is also arrested, but she won't be handcuffed because she has to carry her baby.
On the bottom there, it says educational purposes, employment purposes only. But even in this case, it's not a valid reason for her to be driving here today. Which is a shame with the child with her.
Like the others today, Randolph's car is searched and impounded. While the program is having an impact, cops say some people will never learn. Remember the first man who was arrested, Dean Richard Wagner?
Have you done this before here? Have they caught you doing this before?
No, first time done.
Police say don't believe him. During the last sting, he actually parked in the captain's spot.
And I'd be willing to bet that if we run this again in the future, we'd probably arrest him again in the future.